All right, Shalom. We'll start first by giving all praise and glories unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Call all Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught me this truth. And greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the elect. Shalom. All right, so what do we got here? This is Columbus Day, right? Columbus weekend. Which is October the 12th. You know, today's the 11th, October the 12th, 2019. All right, and you can see how the earth is kind of changing. But anyway, as far as the wicked ruling, this was a major moment in their history. Okay, this was a major moment in the history of the Edomites during the time of the Renaissance, and they came back into power. All right, when it said the deadly wound shall be healed, this is from the book of Revelation. This is that moment. Okay, this is that moment. So let me read this. And when he came to the Americas, talking about Christopher Columbus, he came with war on his mind. All right, because he knew there were people over here. In this movie here with I believe is the French actor Gerard Depardieu, he plays Christopher Columbus or whatever. But he was talking about when he was trying to get the money to come over to make the trip over to the Americas. He's like, how do you know it's there? He said, you know, he started naming different such and such, Ezra's, talking about the book of Ezra. Okay, but it's actually in second Ezra's. Okay, talking about he used the Bible as a reference. It's now in the Apocrypha, but back then it was still within the Bible. Okay, so I'm gonna show just one quick significant scene in this. I don't even need to play it, but just to show you, they came with a whole plan of deception. Okay? They came with those crucifixes. If you take up not your cross, and thinking that's the symbol of the Lord. Because this is the same time period where they cover up the faces of the judges thereof. Okay? From Job the 9th chapter. All right? And this is the moment that they chose to really cross out the face of Yahweh Shai. Okay? And brought in Cesare Borgia in his image with him, with this sign right here, this crucifix. Okay? And if you notice, these people use it over and over. Red cross. That's them. Okay? That's them too. Salvation Army, that's them. What's that? The shield or the armor, you know, the family crest, if you will. There's another one, I forgot the name of it, but yeah, that your family crest generally, right? That's them. Red shield, Rothschild. All right. They're the ones who put the money forth. Amalekites, okay? They're the ones who put the money forth to come over here. All right? But when they came, they had war in their heart. Their lips are as smooth as butter, but there was war in their heart. Or their words are smoother than oil. Right? But there was war in their heart. That's how they came over here. John 10:10, it says, for the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. Okay? And well, they came here to steal the land. They came here to conquer. That's the word. And when you look up everything about Christopher Columbus, you're going to begin to run into that. Matter of fact, the name of this movie, I'll show you. 1492, Conquest of Paradise. All right. And this was a significant moment in the movie because they put their shields up there, you know, their image. They put their image up there, and boom, when they went across the sea and you see that coming, it intrigued Jake. Okay, talking about the Northern Kingdom. Okay, matter of fact, that's actually key to this. Let me grab it right quick. Pretty much the point of this. Wait, 39, I believe it is. Yeah. It says, bear with me one sec. It says, Second Edges 13 and 39, it says, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him. Okay? Because it's not just the one kingdom, the southern kingdom that is joined unto Yahushua. All right? It's also the northern kingdom, the entire kingdom of nation of Israel, the entire nation, both. You go to Ezekiel, the 37th chapter, he'll show you that there were two kingdoms coming together, okay? The house of Joseph, which is the northern kingdom, and the house of Judah, okay, which is the southern kingdom. But before, after the King Solomon is when the nations split, okay? But under King Solomon and King David, it was all one big multitude, you know, one big nation, you know. Anyway, it says, we're going back to that. Anyway, it says, whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land. Yeah, when? Look. In the time of Osea or Hoshea, the king, whom Shalmaneser, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And yeah, and at that time you go back and you look at it and you see that the 10 tribes, the northern kingdom, was taken into captivity under the Assyrians. Okay, and the king of Israel at that time was King Hosea, or Hoshea. So like, you know, it's how you say certain things. Anyway, it says, and he carried them over the waters, so they came into another land. Yeah. Once they came out, I was gonna say, once they came into another land, that's the Americas. And let's keep going. It says, yep, it says, but they took his counsel amongst themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into another country where never mankind dwelt. And what land is that? That's the Americas. They took the trip. Heard they went all the way down around the African Horn and up the west coast of Africa and took the same route that the southern kingdom took from right there in the west coast of Africa when they came over, when they hid in Africa fleeing Roman persecution. Okay? And how they and captured over there, we know that story, and brought over to the North Central South America, okay, and served slavery over there, which our brothers were already being put into subjection over there. And it started back in the 1400s. All right? This man has been the devil the whole time through and through. And you see he gets holidays for the wickedness that he pushes. Okay? Because it's all to keep you people brainwashed and asleep. Okay? Particularly you Israelites, man. You know, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, but it's also those scattered amongst the other nations that may even look like the other nations. Your spirit still connects with Israel also, okay? With the Holy Spirit, all right? You know, you read Romans the 10th chapter. They had a zeal of the Most High, but not according to knowledge. And a lot of you, that's how. So it just needs the full understanding to come upon you. You need the spirit of Yahweh to open you up and then guide you to the men that will teach you. All right. Anyway, it says, "When never mankind dwelt," and when you understand where never mankind dwelt, is that there was never a nation of people that was given to this land over here in the Western Hemisphere. Even in the, yeah, I'll say it that way. You know, though King David did make the trip over here, you know, to pick up goods. Okay, spices, certain plants and animals. I'm trying to remember where it's at, but he had a navy, and he would sail over here about a year and a half, 3-year journey round trip. Okay, and it probably was longer than that. They're probably running ships back and forth. So that's how he knew. You know, talking about Christopher Columbus. That's how he knew. All right, that we were over here. He brought Hebrew interpreters with him because he knew we were over here. Okay? And how would they know? They could read the same Bible like we read and get the same info. It's you people that sleep that can't see these things. Okay? That don't want to put the work in to break it down, to go Google, you know, to put the work in to Google it, right? It says that they might keep their statutes, which they had never kept in their own land. Yeah, because the northern kingdom was surrounded by nations up there. And every time anything seemed to come around our nation, the northern kingdom would just hop right onto their idols. Okay, right onto their idols. You know? It says, so that's why they came over here, that they would have no influence of the other nations, that they'd be able to keep the law, statute, commandments, which they never kept. Because for the northern kingdom, man, that Assyrian captivity was heavy. Okay? They came out trying to do the right thing. They had the right thing in mind. Prophecy still had to speak, huh? As well. Okay? Let me see. It tells of the way that they actually went. So they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river, that the Most High showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over. Yeah. The Most High made sure that this was the smoothest trip to get them over here, because this was prophecy that they had to come over here. Okay, where we would be thrust out of our land. You go into the curses, we were thrust out of our land. Okay, and they shall sit on Deuteronomy 28:68 in there, the line in there that says, and they shall not see it anymore. All right, talking about we wasn't gonna see the land of Israel. All right, we was gonna be taken captivity of our enemies. I mean, yeah, I get it, but I'm trying not to jump around too much, you know. But anyway, but hey, it is what it is, man. The truth of this is coming out, man. You know, and this man is on trial for all the things he's done. You know, he's being sentenced, you know, for all the wickedness he committed, particularly to the Israelites. All right, this was a major moment because we were in the Byzantine Empire. They called the Moors. Okay, all you that's trying to be in this Moorish thing. All right, that's the Moors were the word Moor just means black, which we're not black. Okay, you got to understand that we're not black. Yeah, we're dark skinned, but we're not black. We're not even the darkest people on the planet. Okay, the Africans is darker than us. All right, but anyway, in the time of the Moors, it was at that period of 1,000 years that we lived, and you know, ruled in Europe, particularly Western Europe. All right, all the way down into Spain and all Portugal, all of that. All right, we had kings and everything set up way back then, but what? This man came back into power, and it was the bubonic and the pneumonic plague and all of that helping them, the Most High helping them with that. Okay, sending plagues upon us. Okay, because we didn't rule in righteousness. You know, complete righteousness. Anyway, it says this so that, you know, that Renaissance period is a huge moment in their history. All right, that's how they got back into power. It says, for the Most High showed signs for them and held still the flood, like the constellation led them right over here. The constellations led them right down the right path. All right, and you can look in there and it tells you Issachar was an astronomer, man. He could read the signs. He's part of the Northern Kingdom. He could read the signs in the sky, and they brought that over here. The same things that they were reading from ancient Egypt, putting them pyramids together, same thing they did over here, because they lined up with the skies too. The pyramids that are in southern South America and Central America. Okay, they're lined up to the constellations as well. All right. Anyway, it continues on to say, it showed signs for them. They in hell still the flood till they were passed over and came into this land over here. For though that country there was a great way to go, namely a year and a half, and the same region is called Asareth. Okay, never mankind dwelt. It's over here, man, to another world over here. All right, and you can Google the word Asareth and get the definition. You know. Because some people want to debate about that, but talking about it somewhere else. No, Asareth was the Americas, man, the Western Hemisphere of the world. All right, because that was the only land that nobody ever completely just lived. Okay, it was not given as an inheritance to any man upon the planet. All right, it was just like an extra land over here. There's no nation. The Moabites didn't live over here. Gomer didn't live over here, like, you know, the Medes didn't live over here. Okay, nor did the Persians. Nobody lived over here. The Babylonians, none of that. Okay, in the Western Hemisphere. The story goes, he thought this was India. You know, that's what they say. He thought that he was gonna sail all the way around to India, come the other way. You know. But we know he knew that there was a land over here, though. That was how they tried to tell it. Let me keep reading. It says, then dwelt there until the latter time, and now when they shall begin to come, it says, the highest shall stay the springs in the stream again, that they may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude with peace. But those that have left behind of thy people, they are that are found within my borders. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, at that point, Asareth was pretty much the point. They came over here to this other land. Okay, so let's go into this. Because the real guy's name is Cristobal Colon. Cristobal. Okay? Cristobal Colon. And it says, and look, I put that in, they went Christopher Columbus. They put it right as him. It says, Christopher Columbus was an Italian explorer, navigator, and colonist who completed 4 voyages across the Atlantic Ocean under auspices of the Catholic monarchs of Castile and Aragon. Okay, yeah, those who paid for his those voyages for him to go across. So he was like one of the big guys that kept doing it. Hey, think about it. If he discovered America, which they try to say, wouldn't this place all become Columbia? But they gave the name to the other guy, the other Italian guy, Amerigo Vespucci. Okay, Amerigo is where the name America comes from, which in Italian means bitter. Okay, and this is a bitter captivity over here for the Israelites. All right. Anyway, rightly named. Anyway, it says, while pursuing a route to the far east, he discovered a viable selling route to the Americas. All right. See, it says, then unknown to the world. Yet the Americas was then unknown to the world, but he found the route to get over here. And it's really, you look at the globe and the natural currents. There's a natural current that goes right there off the Horn of Africa, and it curls you right down into along the west coast of Africa, and then shoots you out across the at the near point too. If you look at it, that west coast of Africa, in between the Caribbean islands out there in South America, that's actually not a big as jump as some other parts, but there's a clear like jet stream that rolls right through there. Okay. And that's why those that same jet stream, some of these storms will catch it and come all the way from Africa or come up from down from Europe or whatever, Spain or whatever, and to catch right into that jet stream and come across and terrorize those islands over there. Okay, go right into that Gulf and terrorize all those islands. Yeah, same route. All right. Anyway, it says that land was then unknown to the world, to the old world. Yeah, it's so true. Forget about the main. Okay, let's see what it says. Here we go. It says Christopher Columbus, or Cristobal Colon in Spanish, is an amazingly difficult man to pin down. Yeah, I don't really care about his individual stuff. We pretty much, he was the devil that came over here and conquered our people over here in the Northern Kingdom. All right. Let's go to Psalm right quick. And when you came over here, what did you come over here to do, Esau? 49. Yep. When you came over here, you came to conquer. Okay? You came over here to conquer. Yep. Because this is what you was thinking. Psalm 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever. You came on, we're going to take that, and our kingdom's going to live forever. You know, when you go into the book of Daniel, those 10 toes, you know, that's the America part, because it came off the iron of the Romans, okay? But those same Edomites are coming back, and that's why it's the iron and the clay together, but the clay speaks to the fragility of this kingdom. All right, this place is ready to be broken in pieces. Okay, this whole the whole EU system, you know, NATO and all of that, they put together, those European unions and all of that they connected with, which is all Edomites ruling generally. All right, this is what they put together, man. This is what makes them so able to break apart with the clay. The iron was the strong part, you know, particularly the Roman Empire, and then the Byzantine Empire for that 1,000 years came in, you know, where the Moors ruled, and then they were taken down, and then here's the part where the deadly wound was healed. Okay, all right, this empire's come back. All right, this empire, that's why they think they can't be taken down. They knew they went down for a little while, but they back in power, so they think they don't want to lose this anymore. But you know, you continue on in the prophecy, and it clearly show you that the people are not gonna make it. They're gonna be judged. And then, you know. Anyway, it says the Cristobal Colon discover America. You know, they got all of that. For landed in the Bahamas. All right. You got all these things about this guy, how wonderful, but they're not telling you how much of a murderer this guy was, because the inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and they came over to the Americans like, we about to take this land. It was the same mentality from the Planet of the Apes. Okay, if this is their people, we'll take this place over, you know, in 6 months or 6 weeks, whatever he said. You know, and that's really how they think. If this is it, we'll be running this place before you know it. You know, and then you even go to the job and you see these Edomites think the same way. Okay, they're trying to find a way to weasel themselves into a managerial position, just one that ain't even real. They're creating a position for themselves to be squeezed up into the hierarchy of what's running things. Okay, that's their natural MO. They don't like to sit back and chill and just go to work. You know, they're always looking for how to prosper. Okay, immediately and very vastly. You know. Anyway, it says, and their dwelling places to all generations. That's why Africa's named after an Edomite. You know, Leo Scipios Africanus. Okay, Amargo, Vespucci with America. I mean, they go around naming these lands after the lands that they've conquered. Colombia is this guy's land, named after this guy. Okay, named after this guy. All right. Look at this. Not everything you learned about Christopher Columbus is true. Yep. 15 hours. NYC schools still observe Christopher Columbus despite teaching kids of explorers' violence. Okay. They had to teach about his violence. Native American Museum. Columbus was far from the first to discover America. Exactly. Jake was already over here. So we just read that already. Yep, we got that. Unprotected cruiser foundered off Cuba in 1895. That's not what we want, but let's go to this one. Despite the explorer's history of violence. Yep, because they don't speak about that much. Now this stuff is starting to come out. Another painting of the guy. Let me see. NYC's, basically New York City's public schools will close on Columbus Day on Monday, but the Department of Education has avoided any public mention of the controversial Italian explorer. Yeah, because lots of Native Americans are scattered throughout here, and you know, when you do this gender equality thing, you got to do it across the board, man. You know, you got to make it for all people now. Which they play the game like it is for all people in word, but you know, Jake is still a second-class citizen over here. Anyway, everywhere really, but anyway, it says, it says while school's chancellor Richard Carranza, what I'm naming, recently launched a culturally responsive education initiative, he hasn't said a word about what students should think or learn about Christopher Columbus. The DOE's calendar still, Department of Education's calendar still names Christopher Columbus Day, which is notable. Across the nation, a growing legion of states, cities, and school districts have rejected a federal holiday to honor the Italian navigator who discovered, quote unquote, discovered America in 1492. Look at it says, just last week, lawmakers and officials in Wisconsin, Washington, D.C., and Richmond, Virginia, declared that they would celebrate October 14th as Indigenous Peoples Day in honor of Native Americans, which are the indigenous people that were here. But that was you 10 tribes, man. Okay? You're the 10 tribes that were over here. Okay? And in that region, they were saying there was a lot of Gad in there, but there was and Reuben in that area. And as you came further west, it was Issachar. And then as you came further and further, the tribes broke down, in certain ways. Certain were on the islands out there in the Caribbean. Some were in South America, in Central America. All right. Anyway, it says I knew it was going to come. It says Carranza recently launched a culturally responsive and sustaining education initiative aimed at sparking student consciousness on racial privilege, diverse historical figures and events, and neglected topics such as the LGBTQ rights movement. So what you mad? You mad? This is the guy, man. Appreciate this guy. Richard Carranza has launched a culturally responsive initiative, but the Department of Education still names Columbus Day as a holiday. Let me see. Should we get to the juice? Because I know they're going to have to say it. Yeah, slap in the face, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, right. This is a good quote right here. It says, who said this? Come on. Yeah. Yeah, right here. Yeah, it says Priozolo said he didn't mind because he was an Italian American father of two in Staten Island, bristled at the program, saying it downplays his Italian heritage. Right, but look what it says. I think he's doing culturally select education, he said of Carranza. Right? The Pirozzolo said he didn't mind the historical focus on Columbus's offenses, but called it a slap in the called it a slap in the face to Italian Americans not to have a day of recognition. They're trying to erase the contributions of Italians. Look, man. You took people into captivity. You want that out there? Okay. You want that out there? Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna jump down to this quote here, where it says, in his quest for riches that he never really found, he subjected the native people he encountered to violence, slavery, and disease. You have to know about the smallpox and the blankets. You know, they know about those diseases, that blankets they came over with and gave them as gifts unto Jake. All right. And we know about the violence. We know about all these things, man. Okay. Hunting natives once you got over here. When they came, they tried to show you how to live off the land because you didn't know nothing. Okay. Anyway, it says, let me just read a little more. That was the point. So explain that Columbus and his men had the advantage of power since they had access to weapons the native people did not. He also believed that it was acceptable to treat the indigenous people the way he did because he viewed them as uncivilized and savages, and that's what the word Indian means. It means savage. All right, that's why they were given that name. Okay, why it was given that name, Indian. Okay, not because they thought these were the people of India. Yeah. So that was pretty much the point. You can read the whole articles from the New York Post. Shit, NYC schools celebrate Columbus Day, something to that effect. Yeah, gotta wait on that. But yeah, this man's got a lot of blood on his hands. Okay, this man's got a lot of blood on his hands. Talking about you Edomites, man. You know, everywhere you look, from funding the boats to come over here to the Americas, putting Jake in slavery, coming back into your power. Well, this is the end of your power also. Okay? This is the end of it. All right? As he goes into heaven. I forgot I grabbed that on the way out. Why not? It's always, when Edomites come up, it's always good to they come up in the conversation, you know, through the spirit. It's always good to go into Obadiah. All right? Where's the one that I want? Yep. I'll just read it from the beginning. Oh, bear with me.